Ghost and the Logic, A History of Thinking Machines. Long before silicon and circuits, the quest for artificial intelligence began with the architecture of the human mind. In the sun-drenched gardens of ancient Greece, a philosopher named Aristotle walked with his student, Lysander. He sought to codify the laws of thought, developing syllogisms, the first formal logic. He believed that if human reasoning followed a set of predictable rules, then perhaps, one day, those rules could be mirrored outside the human body. Centuries later, the dream shifted from philosophy to clockwork. In the smoky air of the 19th century, Charles Babbage envisioned a massive brass, analytical engine, but it was his collaborator, Ada Lovelace, who saw the ghost in the machine. She realized that this device could do more than just crunch numbers. If something could be represented by symbols, music, art, or logic, the machine could manipulate it. She became the world's first programmer, dreaming of a machine that could weave algebraic patterns like a loom weaves flowers. The dawn of the 20th century brought the mathematician Alan Turing. During the dark days of the Second World War, he and his colleague Joan Clark used logic as a weapon to break codes. Turing proposed a radical experiment called the imitation game. He argued that we shouldn't ask if a machine thinks in a biological sense, but rather if it can act so convincingly human that we cannot tell the difference. In the summer of 1956, the field finally found its name. A group of brilliant minds gathered at Dartmouth College for a workshop that would change history. John McCarthy and Marvin Minsky were the architects of this new frontier. They were fueled by a bold, soaring optimism, believing that every aspect of learning and intelligence could, in principle, be so precisely described that a machine could be made to simulate it. The early years were a golden age of discovery. Researchers created programs like ELIZA, a digital therapist that used simple pattern matching to converse with users. Though ELIZA had no true understanding, its creator, Joseph Weizenbaum, was shocked to find that people like Elena, an office worker, were eager to pour their hearts out to the screen. It was a powerful lesson. Humans were ready to believe in the ghost, even when it was just a clever set of rules. But the soaring dreams of the 50s soon met the cold reality of the 70s. This era became known as the AI winter. Computers were too slow, and the data they needed to learn was too scarce. Funding dried up, and the once vibrant labs grew quiet. A lone researcher, Dr. Aris, sat in a dimly lit office, staring at a stack of discarded research papers. The complexity of the human world was far greater than their simple logic could capture. The thaw began when scientists stopped trying to teach machines rules and started trying to help them learn. Inspired by the human brain, researchers like Yann LeCun and his student Leo began developing neural networks. These were digital webs that grew stronger with experience. Instead of being told what a cat was, the machine was shown a million pictures of cats until it recognized the patterns for itself. By the turn of the millennium, the world was drowning in data. With the rise of the internet, machines had a vast library of human thought to study. Deep learning took hold, fueled by massive processing power. I began to beat grandmasters at chess and Go. A professional player named Kenji sat in stunned silence as the machine developed an intuition for the game that surpassed human capability. Today, we live in the age of generative AI. Machines can now write poetry, compose symphonies, and hold complex debates. Dr. Aris looks at a modern tablet alongside a young designer named Syra, watching a large language model generate a story in seconds. "We have built a mirror," he whispers. "The AI doesn't just process data, it reflects the collective knowledge, biases, and creativity of all humanity back at us." The story of artificial intelligence is far from over. It is no longer just a tale of math and machines, but a question of ethics and our shared future. As Dr. Aris and Syra stand on the brink of new discoveries, they realize that by trying to build a mind, we have learned more about our own than we ever thought possible. The ghost in the machine was never a stranger. It was us, reaching out into the digital dark.